Hey guys, it's me, Miss Mills, and welcome to Mrs. Mills' Math Time. The whole point of this video is to help you with adding and subtracting scientific notation. This video will help you specifically with your adding and subtracting scientific notation graphic organizer that I have for the RLP students to do on have the RLP students doing it on Thursday, and A students and B students will be doing it in person instead. So this is only for the RLP students, but this video will still help you out when it comes to doing your work for this week as well, and next week, because there will be another worksheet next week where you have to add and subtract, multiply and divide in scientific notation, and this video will help you out with that as well, because I'm going to take it step by step. But RLP students, y'all are going to have something that looks a lot like this. Let me make myself smaller. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to be adding and subtracting scientific notation. Your directions are to write down your steps. Here's one way to do it. There's also an alternate way on how to do it. And then this video is actually going to be posted right here. Obviously, I'm making it right now, so the link can't be there yet. But as soon as I post this, I'll put the link right here so you will have it whenever you're doing this. But there's also an alternate way to do it. And in this video, I'm also going to show you how you can do it on your calculator as well. So I think that will help out a lot. Once you do look at these three pages, also we're reviewing on how to convert between standard form into scientific notation as well as vice versa. So if you still need help with that, these two videos are right here for you as well. But once we do that, then we have these problems right here that I want you to type in I want you to work them out and type in the answers and then turn this in. And then of course this week is Halloween week, so I had to add a little weird thing here as well. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's look at the first part. Because when you're adding and subtracting scientific notation, you have to have the powers of 10 to be the same. So that means that the exponent on both tens on both numbers have to be the same number. If that's not the case, then you have to rewrite one of the numbers to match the other number with the power, or you can turn them both into standard form, add or subtract them, and then turn the answer back into scientific notation. So that's one way to do it. Again, step one, make sure. It's not gonna let me do it. Oh, what did I do? Let's not fix that. All right. Make sure the numbers have the same power of 10. The 10 has the same exponent on both numbers. If not, again, you must rewrite one of the numbers to give it the same power of 10. The 10 has the same exponent on both numbers again. Step two, you're going to line them up where the decimals line up, and then you'll add and subtract accordingly. And since on this way, your answer is already going to be into scientific notation, you do not have to change it. Another way you can do it is you can just go ahead and convert both numbers into standard form and then line them up, add or subtract accordingly. But once you do that, you have to convert the answer back into scientific notation. But let's go ahead and do some of these examples. So the first example we're going to do is this one right here. So let me write it down on here real quick. We have 6.2, and we're going to multiply that by 10 to the 8th power. And then we have 2.3 times 10 to the 8th power. And we're going to add that. All right. So let me do this example for you real quick. Again, the first step is to look at your exponents. You cannot add or subtract them until the exponents are the same. In this case, your exponents are the same anyway, so you don't have to do anything on that. So now, again, all you had to do is line up the numbers to where the decimals are in the same place, and then you just add accordingly. Again, these are the same, so you're going to bring these down to the bottom. 10 to the multiply by 10 to the 8th power, you're just going to bring that down, and then you'll just add accordingly over here. This will be 5, and then we have to bring our decimal down, and then this is going to be 8, and guys, that's going to be our answer. So that's one way to do it. Another way you can do it is you can change both numbers into standard form, and then you can add them, and then you can change it back into scientific notation. I can do that for you real quick as well. Let's start with 6 and 2/10. 2/10, and we're going to multiply that by 10 to the 8th power. So again, when you see this is positive, that means this number is going to be really big. So you have to move that decimal to the right to change it back into standard form. And you have to move it to the right 8 times because our exponent is 8. So let's put our decimal right here. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to add all these zeros in here. And then we can erase this as well. All right, so that's one number. And then the same thing would be for 2 and 3/10 times 10 to the 8th power. It's the exact same thing except different numbers. So this would be 23. We're going to add that. And then we have the same amount of zeros because we're moving the decimal the exact same way. And then you would just add it together, which would be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 5, and then 6, 8. And then once you have the answer, then you have to convert it back into scientific notation. So the answer again would be 8.5 times 10 to the 8th power. So that would be the answer on that one. And then you can also do this in your calculator. So let me go here real quick. Let me click on this calculator. So how you do this is you're going to open your parentheses and you're going to put in the numbers. So 6 and 2/10. You're going to multiply that by 10. You're going to add an exponent of 8. And then you're going to hit this arrow over here and then add that second parentheses and close that. And then we're going to add that by open parentheses 2 and 3/10, and we're going to multiply that by 10. This exponent number right here, or this button right here, we're going to add 8 again, do this little arrow, and then we're going to close that parentheses. And it gives you the answer over here, but it gives you the answer in standard form. So once the calculator gives you the answer, you still have to convert it back into scientific notation. Okay? That's how you put in all scientific notations in here. The calculator will only turn it into standard form. It will not take a standard form and turn it into scientific notation. Now, it will do that in this calculator, but only if the number is big enough to turn into scientific notation. Like if you put in an outrageous number in your calculator, like in a bunch of zeros, you hit enter, you'll notice that your calculator will go ahead and turn it into scientific notation. It should put the number multiplied by 10, and then it'll have that exponent. But again, if you just put in a simple number like 21 in either this calculator or this calculator, it's not going to turn it into scientific notation for you. There's no button for that. But again, you can put in this into the calculator and it will turn it into standard form for you. Okay, so regardless, you need to know how to take standard form and turn it into scientific notation yourself. But let's do another problem. I don't know where I'm even going. Let's do another problem. Let's do a subtraction problem. Let's go ahead and do number 4 right here. So I have 0.000625, then I have 0.000513. Again, there's multiple ways you can do this. You can either turn them both into scientific notation and then subtract them, and then you're done. Or you can subtract them in this form and then turn the answer back into scientific notation. So let's go ahead and do this. So 5 subtracted by 3 is going to be 2. 2 subtracted by 1 is going to be 1. And then 6 minus 5 is going to be 1. And then we have 3 zeros, and then we have our decimal right there. So that's going to be our answer, but we still have to turn it into scientific notation. So we have to locate our decimal and then move it to, move it to where there's only one number on the left side of that decimal. And then we can put in our number, which is going to be 1 and 12 hundredths. And then we're going to multiply that by 10. And our exponent is going to be how many times we move the decimal. And in this case, it was 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's going to be 4. But again, we're moving it to the right this time, so it has to be a negative 4. And so that should be our answer. All right, cool. So we've done adding and subtracting exponents when you have the same, power of 10. So what do you do when you don't have the same power of 10? So let's move on to another part of this graphic organizer. And here's some examples of different powers of 10. So here's 4 that you have to do, but I'll do one of them for you. Because again, there's 2 ways you can do this. Let's go ahead and we'll do number 2. Let's do number 2. So we have 9 multiplied by 10 to the 5th power, and we're going to subtract that by 8 multiplied by 10 to the 4th power. All right, so let's go back over here. Let's move me so I'm not in your way. All right, I'm still in your way. Still in your way. Ha, that works. All right, so if you notice here, our exponents aren't the same. So what you have to do is you have to change one of the numbers to have the same power of 10. So I would recommend doing it to the second number because it has a smaller exponent. So what you have to do is you have to locate the decimal. So again, let's put this into standard form. So we have 8, in standard form, and then we need to move the decimal 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Add those zeros, so it should be 8,000. But if you moved the decimal one more time to the left, again, that would add that extra power. So that would turn this one into it would turn it into 8/10 in this particular problem. So now we have 9.0 times 10 to the 5th power, and then we have to put 0.8 tenths times 10 to the 5th power. Okay. So once you have that, again, we can bring these down, 10 to the 5th power, and then we have to make sure our decimals line up. But 90 minus 8 is going to be 8.2. It's going to be 82, and then we add that decimal back where it's supposed to be. So it should be 8 2/10 times 10 to the 5th power. Another way you could have done this is change them both into standard form. So that would be 9 0 0 0 0 0, and then it would be 0 8 0 0 0 0, and we're going to subtract these. And then you would subtract accordingly, and then again 90 minus 8 would be 82. And then once you have the answer, then you have to change it back into scientific notation. So it would be 8 and 2/10 times 10, and then we moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 5th power. And that would be our answer. That looks like a jumbled up mess, I'm sorry. All right. So if you have any questions about what you should do whenever you add or subtract scientific notation with different powers, just remember you have to change one of them so they have the same power before you can add or subtract them. Or you can change them both into their standard format and then add or subtract them. But once you do that, you have to take the answer and turn it back into scientific notation. But let me do one more for you. Again, I'm going to pull it directly from this right here. So let's do this one. Let's do number 1 right here. So we have 6 and 4/10. And we're going to multiply that by 10 to the 5th power. And then we're going to add that by 32 320,000. All right, cool. So what we have to do here is we have to put them both in the same form. You can either change this number into standard form or you can change this number into scientific notation. On this one, I'm just going to take this number and go ahead and change it into scientific notation. So we have that decimal. We're going to move it to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to turn into 3 2/10 multiplied by 10, and then we moved it 5 times to the 5th power. So I'll just erase this, and here you go. Again, we just bring this down, 10 to the 5th power, and then 4 plus 2 is going to be 6. Bring that decimal down, 6 plus 3 is going to be 9. So it should be 9 6/10 times 10 to the 5th power. And there you go. Guys, I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, remember to contact me and I'll help in any way that I can. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. I'm super excited to see y'all this week. And I'll see you later. Bye. Nope, that's all I want to do.